So how's it going, guys? Do apologise about the voiceover. Basically, I put the camera on, and some reason the the microphone didn't plug back into the GoPro properly in the casing. With the GoPro 13, we got the like the waterproof case, and there's like a little switch thing that not switch, but like a little plug thing that goes into the side from the case to the camera, and it looks like that plug wasn't actually plugged in, so we didn't get any audio at all. So yeah, we are down Knab down in Membo, Swansea, one of our favourite places we like to go. It's our first time out. The week before, I wasn't well at all. I had a week off work, just like holiday sort of week off work, like. And most of that week I spent recovering. I did have some family time as well, which was nice. But yeah, we never done no fishing. On a Saturday, I went to Newport Gold Cliff for a few hours. I had a bite down there. It was a conger. Well, it felt like a conger, but it fell off halfway in. So yeah, this trip here it is the first trip um back out. So we decided to come down Membos after the smooth hounds because Dad this year I don't actually cut a smooth hound yet. So fingers crossed in this video, guys, Dad actually catches one. But it is a good video. It was a good day out as well. Like with us guys, we do like just to go fishing. Catching is obviously we go fishing to catch. We don't go fishing just to sit there. But when you do catch, it is nice to it's nice to catch them. But if we do, blank, we still post them up and show the reality of fishing, I suppose, because everyone blanks. I don't think there's a man out there who doesn't blank, because this can happen. But yeah, so I had a bite first cast, but nothing come of it. So I give it I wound it in, check my bait, and I'll show you in a minute on the video. Sometimes down that brook though, you can cast out, and within a couple of minutes you'll have bites after bites. And then other times then you'll go down there and they'll be dead all day. You won't even have a bite down there. So it can be a hit or miss mark, especially with the hounds. It can be with the smaller fish as well, to be honest. It doesn't always fish amazing even after the small ones. But here I am here. I've checked my bait. It didn't look like it'd been touched, to be honest, but I definitely had a bite. So I don't know what happened. Don't know what happened there. Probably a doggy. The good old Swansea salmon. At this stage here, it is we never had any fish at the moment. I think when I put that rod back out, this is the second cast, pretty much. But yeah, no joy so far. But we're still sticking at it. We still go. Obviously a lot of part of this video, yeah, I can't remember exactly what I was talking about. So don't look at the the mouth too much, because it's obviously not going to be in sync. Because I've had to watch the video whilst I'm talking about the video, if that makes sense. So it might be a bit of a different change of video today. But we'll soon see if it works. I know a few people have had to do it where their volume's not working, or it's been that windy you can't even hear them, and they've had to voice over it. For bait wise today, we got squid, we got crab, and in work I bought some shrimps, the raw shrimps with the heads, well, prawns with the heads, I should say. But to be honest with you, we didn't, like, looking back now, we won't be using them again, because we had 2 runs off smooth hounds using the prawns, and then both times they smooth hound picked it up and dropped the bait. It's like they wasn't even taking the bait far enough into their mouth, and swimming off. Well, like the crabs and stuff, they take it in, the hook a turn, and just bang straight in the bottom lip. So I know it wasn't my rig, so it wasn't Dad's rigs, because Dad was using the normal dongle and it done it to him. I got a feeling they were picking the shrimps up, or the prawns, um, and they were just dropping it. It's like they didn't. I don't want to say they didn't like them, but they don't like them as much as crab, put it that way, because they swallow crab and they swallow squid. But with the prawns, they just didn't seem want to know. They didn't want to know about it, I should say. But you never know. And there's part by here as well. I'm talking about the wind, because Windy said it was blowing from behind us, from over the cliff tops where you can see there, but it wasn't. It was actually blowing to which way was it blowing? I think it was blowing from the left down. It was even no, actually no, sorry, it was the right down into like the bay. So yeah, it was quite windy down here, to be fair. But it's been windy all week, so that was we expected the wind to be quite high. In fairness, but long as it wasn't in our face, we didn't mind it. Here we are. There's a Swansea salmon, a good old dogfish to save the blank. That's one. Um, that's my first fish basically of this session. I should have turned the camera on quicker because the run I had off this was great. But sometimes especially with smooth hounds, you just automatically just jump up and grab the rod. I don't even think about sticking the camera on sometimes. Once I get a few smooth hounds this year under my belt, I'll focus more on trying to film the run, I suppose. But you know what it's like. Once you have a run off a smooth hound, they go mad. They go absolutely crazy. So it's literally just leap up, grab the rod, wind down, and hook into it. It was giving me a good fight. It kited straight to the right. I'm glad there was no one fishing to the right of me, because this smooth hound would have just wiped everyone out. That's the problem with down that rock sometimes. If you fish too close to people, especially with smooth hounds, it can cause mayhem. And sometimes it's not the angler's fault, because the smooth hound, they just take the angle and the slack of the line. So any type of angle, they can just take you to the right, and they take you there all day. You can't stop them, because obviously especially this one here, it is actually a good fish. With the smaller ones, you could probably bully them a bit more, but a bigger smooth hound, yeah, you're not really bullying them too much. Plus, you gotta be careful that the hook don't come out as well. Dad, like just now, Dad put the net on the floor, and he won't just jump up and stick the net down in the water, because with smooth hounds, they can end up to the right of you, then they swim to the left, then they swim in front of you, then they swim to the right. So you might as well just let them settle in front of you, and then drop the net to the opposite where the tide's pulling, so the net can float down underneath the fish, and you just literally just scoop or lift the net up with the fish inside. It's more about timing and technique with the drop net, to be honest with you. It's not easy, especially on your own. If you ever go down Knab rock and you got a drop net on your own, you'll realise it can be hard work, in fairness. You're better off grabbing the leader, controlling the fish with the leader, if you're going to do it on your own. Because if you try and do it with your rod and your drop net, you'll be here all day. The fish will take the mick out of you, I suppose. So here's Dad here, Captain Netsman. I give Dad one thing, he's brilliant with the net. I always jokes around with him and says it's because I catches more fish than him. You stick the net down now. We used to have a bigger net last time we were fishing, but to be honest with you, me and Dad actually decided this smaller net is actually better than the bigger one because the tide doesn't grab it as much. It doesn't pull it round. It seems to like um, settle in the water a lot better, which is a good thing. You can see you can see the type of day we've gone on as well. The clouds and the sun. It was perfect. It was a little bit nippy down there, but other than the wind blowing a bit of a cold wind, I suppose. Yeah, it was a lovely day down there. Lovely and dry. Dad's managed to get the fish in the net now. When I pull it up, or when Dad pulls up, I should say, you will see it is a good fish. It's my new don't want to spoiler alert this, but it's a PB, put it that way. It's my personal best. Let's take him over the railings now, and we'll show you on the bank. Here he is. I'll lift him up now for you. This part of the video doesn't do it justice because the smooth on weighed £14. Like I said, it is my new personal best. Once I get a little bit closer to the camera, you will see the size of it properly. When you're further back with a GoPro, because the GoPro's got such a wide angle lens, it doesn't do it justice. But yeah, there we are. Lovely fish. It was really long as well, to be fair. But yeah, I'm well happy. We weighed it with 2 sets of scales as well, because me and Dad's not going to lie about our weights. We got no need at all to. But yeah, there we are. We chucked him back, and after catching that smooth round as well, it went quiet for quite a bit, to be honest. I think it was just before low water it picked up again. Sorry, just before high water. I mean, it picked up again. Yeah, it didn't fish his nuts off, but at least at least I caught a dogfish at this stage, and a nice smooth round, a very nice smooth round. Knab Rock, to be fair, is not known for the bigger smooth rounds, but I've been quite lucky down Knab Rock. I've had two now, two decent sized ones. So I've had one £13, which I caught it not last year, year before, when we were doing the videos, just before we went back catfishing. So I caught a £13 that time, and then this time round, I've gone and caught a £14. But they're not known specifically for the bigger smooth rounds down Knab Rock. They're mainly known for the amount of smooth rounds you can catch. Dad was using the same as me pretty much. He was using squid and crab. We didn't bring much crab with us, so we only brought I think it was 12 crab, if I remember. It was either 12 or 6. It wasn't too many, between us. Normally you do bring a lot more. So if we would have had a good day on the crab, which we could have probably done, to be fair, if we would have had more crab, we probably could have caught a few more smooth rounds. Because in my eyes, crab is a smooth round's favourite bait. You will catch them on squid, and I do catch them on squid. But if you put squid up against crab, in my eyes, 9 times out of 10, crab will outdo it. But it is what it is. We took squid with us. We took crab, and all of our runs pretty much was on was on crab. But maybe it's just certain days. Maybe I don't know. Maybe certain days they just want to eat squid, but 9 times out of 10 you will do better on the old crabs. I'm just trying to think now. What was I talking about? But yeah, but I can't remember at all what I was talking about. But it doesn't matter. I'm not going to remember everything I was talking about, in fairness. Especially when you've never done a voiceover as well. This part of the video here is where Dad gets a run. So Dad's in. He's got his first smooth round of the year, so he's well happy. I've had to do this at home. So Dad's not with me, so obviously not going to hear Dad's voice, or what I should call Stephen's voice. But he's well happy. He's hooked into his first smooth round of the year. Obviously, Dad's caught loads of smooth rounds over the years, I should say. But when you catch your first one, like I said previously, there's no better feeling, especially for that first year. Like, so we'll film Dad now playing his fish. I think Dad's smooth rounds playing ball for him. My one wasn't. Took me all over the place. It's not too far now. That's why I'm getting the net ready, because I can see it's like basically underneath us. But even then, even if it's underneath you and you put the net down, it doesn't always mean it's going to stay underneath you. They can kite to the left and to the right and make a right 2 and 8, I suppose. And then some days, like today, you get quite lucky, and they don't play too. They're not too bad. Like, let's get the net down here now, and fingers crossed, land Dad's fish for him. Because he'd be gutted now if the hook comes out. I thought I dropped the net, but I never. I must have the net must have went out of shot, and I thought I lowered it down. Yeah, grab the leader now for Dad, so it's easier for me to control the fish. And then drop the net down in. Well, you gotta be careful of when you drop the net down as well. You don't let go of the end of it, because your drop net will end in the water, and it'll sink. It'll basically, because we got a weight at the bottom of it as well. If I let go of the rope, it will just sink. There we are. Sometimes it's just about controlling the fish. It's a lot easier, like I said, with the using the leader to do it. There we are. Fish in. Lovely jubbly. Dad's happy. I'm happy. Another smooth round on the bank. Lift him over the chain. It's like chain link section by there. I take Dad's lead it off for him as well, unclip it for him, so it's easier to pick the net up. There we are. Dad put his rod on the stand, and here's Dad's reward. A lovely smooth round. We didn't weigh it, but it probably was about, I want to say, £7 roughly, if I had to guess it. We don't always weigh all smooth rounds, unless we can think. If we think that over £10, we'll weigh them. We have weighed the smaller ones. Don't get me wrong, but 9 times out of 10, we just want to get our rod back out there, so we don't weigh all of them. Here we are. Dad's well happy. Got his first smooth round under his belt. So he'll tell his war stories now. He's probably telling you what he caught it on. He would have caught it on crab, on his dongo rig as well. He might have actually. I think, if I remember rightly, he wasn't too happy with his dongos, so he come and used one of mine, because I have been doing well on my dongos, in fairness. I know people say there's not much movement with it, but it sits at such an aggressive angle. If any of you know, like, carp fishing wise, if you know what the Withy Pool rig sits like, sits really curved. And I got a feeling my dongle, it helps hook, because it sits such an aggressive angle. Once they chew into it, the hook just turns and just pulls down anyway. Because once I rub it along my hand, it just turns and just grabs literally like the bottom lip, if that makes sense. I know with sea fish they don't suck baits in and stuff, so you don't have to worry about that. But when they go down and they smash it, obviously that hook's got to turn anyway. But my hooks must be turning because it's grabbing in the bottom lip every single time. Um, but I'm gonna keep using it throughout the summer. And like I said, Chew, if I get any problems at all with it, I'll tell you. But so far so good. The version I've made is working, so I got no negative points about it. Don't get me wrong, me and Dad are not professional anglers. Some people might go, I would never use that at all. But if it's working for me and Dad, then and we're catching fish on it, um, I wouldn't like to as well that we're just using normal dongles and making this up because we're not like that. We try and give as honest opinion as we can with all our stuff we use. All I know is the reason why Dad wasn't too happy with his dongle is because of the Asso Classic. It comes off really springy, and the amount of times Dad wound in and it was all twisted. So I've told him now to buy Asso Ultraflex, because the Ultraflex is really supple. So this part of the video, I basically show you that you don't really need to cast to the horizon on a Knab rock to catch fish. As long as you get out there for about 80 yards, 90 yards, something like that, it's more than enough. My Pen 525 and my Ziplex Profile Hero, swing it back and forth, just flick it. I've got the mags off as well because with the 525s, I always call them idiot proof because they don't really blow up, to be honest with you. So you can get away with it hitting it a bit harder and they won't bird's nest. It's very rare they will blow up. I've had them blow up, don't get me wrong, but it's very rare. Yeah, back to the Ultraflex, Asso Ultraflex. Yeah, it's really supple. So once you straighten your hook length out, obviously when you've got your hook lengths in your hand, if you rub your hands along it, it sort of warms the line up and it makes it a lot straighter. And I don't get any line twists at all with it. I did try the Classic before, and I did say to Dad, it seems really springy. But I thought maybe it was just me. But Dad's obviously having the same issue now, and he's been using it for a while. And I got to run here, smooth on. Just wind down into it. I did try and get it on camera, but you can't even hear the reel go because obviously there's no sound. So I'll do the sound for you. Zzz. There we are. That's better than nothing for you guys. Yeah, smooth on. Again, if I remember rightly, I think it was on crab. We had a cracking day. We had loads of dogfish throughout the day, but because we'd have to smooth on every dogfish I caught, I wasn't turning the camera on. I'm glad I never really anyway, because it's 25 minutes nearly into this video anyway, and I would have had no volume anyway, so it'd have been quite pointless in my eyes to post up loads of dogfish. But Knab can be a place where you can get dogged out. This one's definitely not a dogfish. This one's definitely a smooth hound. You can see it pulling the rod down. I'm slacking off the star drag now to let some line out for him. On my tripod, you can see I got four rod rests. The two on the right, um, well, the furthest right and the furthest left is the Spooler gun grippy rod rests, and the two in the middle then are just the normal Ian Gold ones. It's just in case I wanted to put a bass rod in the middle. I could take one of them off, but they haven't gone in my way, so I've just left them all on it. Plus, it's quite handy as well. So when you just want to put your rod down quickly, you just chuck it in the bigger cups. Because with the spooler cones, you got to like sort of press them down for them to fit in nice and snug. But the other ones, you can just chuck them in. So it can be handy sometimes. There we are. Dad's got my hound in the net now. Lovely jubbly. That's the number 2 for me. Number 3 or 4, I think it is, for the year now for me, I think it is. I can't remember how many I caught when I caught that Bullis. How many I actually caught. So this year I've actually had 2 personal bests so far. Both on this mark, funny enough. You do get some good fish off you. You do get taupe off you as well, if you're lucky. We've never gone for the taupe. But you never know, especially fishing that brook. You never know what you're going to catch. Let's take you to the next to the boats and show you my reward. The small ones are always a nightmare to hold compared to the bigger ones, I always find. They always wiggle so much. You don't want to play ball. There we are, a lovely smooth round. Again, we didn't weigh it. I think Dad wanted to get his rod out or something like that, so I just had a quick GoPro footage, and he quickly come over and give me a photo on my phone, and we slipped him back. This section here now, I'm going to show you my how I baited my dongle. Bear with me because I was up since 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't go to sleep at all. So at this stage, I've gone probably, I don't know, a silly amount of hours, like 35 hours or whatever, with no sleep. So I am a bit all over the place trying to do this. This is our last cast as well. We only had half a crab each left. So I try and wrap up the crab a little bit, so I can make it into some type of shape to stick some squid on top of it. Dad laughs at me because I go the opposite way when I wind the cotton on, or the bait elastic on. I just find it easier just going backwards than I do going forwards. Don't ask me why. It's just the way I've done it. So yeah, bit of crab on my shepherd's crook. Cut your squid head off. Get rid of that. Don't need that. You got the little wings here on the squid. Chuck them in. Some people keep them on. Some people keep the skin on as well. But I'd rather try and take the skin and stuff off. I like to slip it up the middle, straight to the end. Snip. Open it up. Get your crab then. Stick your crab on the bottom or on top or whatever. Wrap the squid around the crab. And then just basically bind that squid then around the crab. There's probably other ways to do it, but like I said, is not having no sleep at all. I like to make shorter, fatter baits anyway. I'm not a big fan of making big, long baits, especially for smooth rounds, because they go down and smash it anyway. So the smaller it is, the less they gotta chew, I suppose, before the hook goes into their mouth. Yeah, wrap it up. I'll probably put too much cotton on here, to be honest with you, but you know, it don't matter. Get my rig then. I'll show you my rig now. As you can see, guys, see that angle of the hook? It does sit a lot more aggressive just than the normal dongle. But it could just be my logic of it. I might be wrong. But as an angler point of view, it does make sense. The more aggressive the hook sits, the more chance it's got to go into the bottom lip. But you know, like me and Dad always say, well, yeah, we're not professionals. So obviously, if you don't want to make one of these rigs up, obviously we're not going to force you to do it. But if you did want to try it, then let me know, and I'll make one up, and I can show you how I do it. The hardest part is putting the loop for the eye of the hook. But once you've done it a couple of times, it's easy. Right, this part by here. I know I keep saying I had no sleep, but the wind's blowing as well. I'm trying to hold the dong or open out, doing a bit of Muhammad Ali here, trying to duck away from the bee. I'm trying to hold the braid because obviously the wind's blowing the braid off the back of the crab and the squid. So once I've got like a wrap of elastic around it, it stays in place then. With my dongles as well, I do put knots in them just so it gives extra grip then for the elastic to grip onto. So if the fish does pull the bait, it's less likely it's gonna pull it off. Some people as well don't hook the hook through, but again, I mainly do it so it's got less chance to come off. Because my theory of it is if you just wrap the cotton round the bait with not putting it through, it seems like it's easier to come off the braided bit. But again, you know, if I have a few takes and I'm missing them all the time, I might try it without putting the hook through the bait and try it that way. But so far, so good. I haven't had that issue, so keep doing it my way. At the bottom, I got a loop. Sometimes I use rings, but these rigs I made up, I only made them with loops. But long as you're using an imp with the loops, they're fine. With the splash sounds, it's better to have a ring, I always find. See, it seems to be easier to come off, it doesn't catch. But I like using imps.
Guys, that's the end of the session. So we ended up with I had 2 smooth rounds, sorry. Dad had 1 smooth round. I had one and it fell off about halfway in. Dad had a run as well, didn't you?
Yeah, on the prawn, we put prawn on.
Yeah, both on prawn.
Yeah, both on prawns. I put prawn on, it picked it up, the rod tip bent down, started to take line, and then dropped it. That was on prawn. Then Richard had a screaming run, he hooked it, and it fell off. Prawn again. So we won't be using
prawn
again.
I don't know what it is about prawn, but
no.
They wasn't swallowing it like they were with the squid and crabs.
And a few years ago when the pier was open, I put prawn on, cast it out, it was out there like half hour, I never had a bite. I wound it in, put crab on, cast it out, it was out there about 15 minutes and he went screaming off and I had a smooth hound.
It could just be the bait.
It could be a coincidence.
Or it is the bait, I don't know.
It is the bait.
I know everyone, like a lot of people use prawns that they catch, but for our luck, it's not looking very good.
And to be honest with you, all the smooth hounds I've caught over the years, I've never had one pick the bait up, I've picked the rod up and it's just dropped it.
Yeah,
I've never had one drop it. I've had one where I've hooked it, it's gone halfway in, it's been pulling like a good one and then fall off. I've had that a couple of times, but not one where the tip goes down, it's taking line, I lift the rod up, I just feels for the rod and there's nothing there. Put the rod back on the stand, waited and waited, I slackened a bit of line off, waited 20 minutes, nothing, wound it in, and the bait was just, well, it had a little bite mark in it, that was about it.
Yeah.
But no, it was like they picked it up and didn't like it. They didn't like it, but we've had a wicked one, considering it was blowing a bloody oolie, wasn't it?
Yeah, when you looked on Windy, it said it was going to blow from behind you. Windy wasn't telling the truth.
No, it was blowing from the side.
It was blowing from the side. It was blowing, good job, it was blowing that way.
Yeah.
So it was all right, it was more of a side wind really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we enjoyed ourselves. It was a nice few hours out.
It was definitely worth going without sleep. I don't think Richard had any sleep.
No,
By
I
the
didn't.
time
I
he
didn't
got
have
home
any
from
sleep
work
at all.
and he got to sleep, it was 3 o'clock, ready to get back up again. I didn't have much sleep. I never really do if I'm getting up early, but last night I just couldn't go off. But it was definitely worth it because we both had smooth downs, and Richard's one. Like
Personal best.
personal
Can't fault
best.
it.
We weighed it on my brand new scales, and we weighed it on Richard's small Heaven Reetons.
Yeah, Reuben eating.
Yeah, and the same weight come up on both of them, so we're well happy with that. But I've never seen a smooth down that big. We've had a few good ones, like 11 and a half, something like that, Rich, 12
Yeah.
maybe.
I had one down here before. It was £13.
Or 13, was it?
Yeah. I wasn't last year. Year before.
And you
I think I had it on film actually. I think again I had it on film.
We had a few on the boat, biggish ones, and the one you had was a good one, wasn't it, Rich? But it wasn't £14. That was the biggest smooth down I've ever seen. It was fantastic because it's under the water, like it's shot from right to left, and I thought, oh, it's not that big, but it's going like mad. I grabbed the leader, and like I thought, oh, I ain't keeping hold of this leader; it's going to burn my hands. And it went like a bloody maniac coming down. And then when I lifted the net and seen how big it was, I went, Rich, this is a beast. Well, it's a beast for us. But yeah, that was a beautiful fish. So yeah, we're well happy, guys. So we have to wait now for next week's adventures.
Yeah, we're not sure where we're going next week.
No.
There's a few areas in mind, but
smaller tides next week.
Yeah, smaller tides. So Fonty might be on one of them.
Yeah.
But if you did enjoy the video, guys, as always, don't forget to subscribe and give us a comment, any feedback.
Yeah.
We always appreciate it.
And we enjoyed doing it, didn't we? It was
Definitely.
Lovely mornings fishing.
We'll see you soon, guys.
Yeah.
Take care.
Take care, guys.